I made the biggest financial mistake in my business. It wasn't overspending in marketing. It wasn't investing in the wrong high level coach. It even wasn't a failed business idea. It was hiring the wrong person. And I didn't even understand the full weight of that wrong decision until years later. But thankfully, I overcame it. And I got off of this merry-go-round. Maybe you're on this merry-go-round. Let me know. You know that merry-go-round of hiring, firing, rehiring. And maybe you decided, like, I don't want to get on that merry-go-round again, so I'm not going to hire. I'm just going to figure it out on my own. And then you find yourself experiencing so much overwhelm because you are trying to figure out how to do what needs to get done in an area that is not your zone of genius, instead of hiring a who to get it done. Because again, maybe like me, you've made a wrong hiring decision that has almost taken your business under. So this happened over a decade ago when I was hiring, I believe it was my second virtual assistant. And I did all the right things that I thought at the time. What were those things? I got someone who was recommended from another colleague. I interviewed that individual. I even spoke to former clients of theirs to get a different perspective. But the biggest mistake I made, and I made it early on, and I continued to make it until I told her this is no longer working, was I cared more about what she thought about me than I cared about myself. What did I do, friend? I abandoned myself because I overcared what she thought, said, and believed about me. I cared too much if she thought I was a micromanager. So what had happened was I was finding that I completely relinquished tasks to her with no systems, no processes, and I completely trusted her. And what I found was every task that I assigned to her that I really didn't understand how to do on my own, and didn't want to even educate myself a little bit, took her an hour. Every task took her an hour. Can you even begin to imagine what this hiring expense was costing me on a daily, weekly, and monthly business? And it wasn't just the cost, the financial cost. It was also the internal cost where I was abandoning myself and abandoning my intuition, and again, caring more what she thought and believed about me versus what I thought and believed about myself. Because it was seeming odd, but I didn't want to seem like a micromanager. I didn't want to question and really scrutinize what she was doing. I wanted to be that leader who, trusts and empowers and isn't a bottleneck. Even though inside it wasn't making sense. And it was interesting when I looked back and I was remember saying, like, why is this costing so much? Why is this taking so much? Why do you got to bring more people in to do this task? And then I remembered what the referrals, the people who she sent as references and referrals said. They're like, yeah, she's good at her job, but I couldn't afford her. But I had missed that part because I was just so quick to hire someone because I was hiring from a place of overwhelm versus hiring for growth with God. See, when you hire from a place of overwhelm, you just want someone in there. You're looking for someone to just save the day and just get things off of your plate. But when you're hiring from a place of growth, you hire slow. You're intentional about who you want, what characteristics, what personality traits, what levels of experience. You're not rushing the process. You're slowing down. And then when something comes up that has you say, you don't care what that individual might think, believe, or say about you. That's none of your business. What you care more about is not abandoning yourself. And you care more about surrounding yourself with the right team members who self-manage themselves, who are people of integrity, who are high achieving, and who are committed to seeing you win and fit in with your company culture and how work is being done. So 7 months went by of me being confused and me abandoning myself and me caring more about what this individual said and buying their emotional drama and buying their untruths until I said, you know what? I can't afford this. Like, if we continue in this, my business is going to go under. And so I let that individual know that in alignment with our contract, it's a wrap in 30 days. It's a wrap in 30 days. And because I had fully put all of my trust in this individual, instead of trusting God and trusting myself, I had found myself in a position that I didn't even know how to operate the system that she had set up for me. But I was like, listen, it's a wrap in 30 days. It's a wrap in 30 days. And I began to lift up my hand and say, God, what are we going to do? And God being God, a present help at time of need, before those 30 days were over, I was introduced to my then new virtual assistant who I ended up working with for 4 years. And I will never forget this. Her name was Sophie. Immediately, I implemented a timesheet, a shared Google Sheet. Like, yeah, I need to see exactly what you're doing and exactly how long it takes and exactly how much it's costing me. And everything was 7 minutes. It was like, even she said, what was taking her so long to get this done? And at that point, when that season of hiring, I didn't care, and I still don't, how people might think about me, what they might believe about me, what they might say about me. All I care about is who God says that I am and how God thinks about me and what God believes about me and what God says about me. Because leader to leader, we lead by vision. And what I learned was so eloquently said yesterday at church. We know that, right? Habakkuk 2:2, where there was no vision, the people will perish, right? And we know that as leaders, we have a vision, so they will run it out. We understand that it makes the most sense in all realms, financially, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, to hire who's in our business versus how's. We understand that vision that God has called us to carry it out, who He's predestined on us to succeed, first is a burden. And so what I did this time is I hired from a place of growth. I put systems in place and I stopped caring what they would think, say, or believe about me, because that's none of my business. And so I want to say, fellow high achieving female entrepreneur, you may be throwing your hands up and saying, listen, I know I need help, but I am so sick of going in this hiring, firing, rehiring process. And you may be looking and saying it's a problem out them, right? I'm going to invite you to look in the mirror as Michael Jackson taught us. It begins with you. It begins with the leader that you are and the culture that you set and the environment that you create. Because guess what? The powerhouse team members that I'm blessed to have now that are looking and praying for you, they want an environment where they can thrive. They want an environment and a culture that is world class. And I got to tell you, if you continue to be a people pleaser, if you continue to abandon yourself, if you continue to buy into people's emotional drama, if you continue to not set strong, firm, emotional, mental, physical boundaries, if you, and you may not realize you're doing this unconsciously, if you don't have systems in place and you just are operating from a place of chaos and dysfunction and you're distracted, you are repelling those powerhouses. And you will find yourself, and again, it begins with you, and you will find yourself unconsciously sabotaging yourself and your business to creating higher level sales results with higher level clients. And you will continue to struggle and feel stressed, depressed, and all the rest. At least that's what I was experiencing. May not be you. So I want to share 2 resources with you that are going to help you begin to think differently about hiring, because how we think impacts our results. The first book, and I have to give a wonderful shout out to my creative director, Rochelle Shadipa, who introduced me to this book, Game Changer. Who, not how. We love Ben Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Listen, I bought the book, but I really recommend that you listen to it on Audible. Love it. I'm going to read it again. And then the second book, and I can't remember the title right now, but I can grab it. Oh, I can't grab it right now, is Buy Back Your Time. just look on it in Amazon. Again, I recommend you get that. Not Kindle. What am I talking Kindle? I don't even have a Kindle. In Audible. I recommend that you buy it and listen to it in Audible. That's what I found. And then make a decision that your time is best spent profiting from your gifts and working in your gifts and doing what only you can do, what God created you to do. So then that means you got to buy back your time, right? By hiring who's and not worrying about the how. Listen, if you receive value from this video, do a few things for me. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to YouTube channel so that other high achieving female entrepreneurs like us can receive this video. You know, YouTube will send it out. And if you're saying, oh my gosh, Althea, I never even thought about it this way. I never thought that how I was thinking, that me caring how others are thinking about me being a people pleaser, was impacting my hiring decisions. Well, I want you to grab my free training on the 7 biggest sales mistakes that female entrepreneurs make that keep them from 7 figures. Because in this free training, it comes with a workbook, you're going to also begin to understand how you think about sales is impacting your growth. And I don't want you to rob yourself of a fortune and rob yourself of creating generational wealth while also simultaneously helping people have what they desire because of your beliefs and your thinking. So go ahead and grab that free training. Let me know what your biggest takeaway is from this video, and we'll continue the conversation. How do you get that free training? 7 biggest sales mistakes that female entrepreneurs make that keep them from 7 figures. You can go to the description and grab it. And I'm sure there's going to be a link because my amazing powerhouse digital marketing team is going to put it there. And then you will help yourself get to your next level in sales and business. Can't wait to see you inside. Okay. Until next week, take care. God bless. Love you. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when we release a new video. Then click the TV to watch the next video. Go to altheamcintyre.com to get your free training on the 7 biggest sales mistakes that keep you from 7 figures.